Today we're going to be reacting to Joe Rogan podcast with Jeremy Corbell, who is a UFOologist, if such a thing even exists. And we're going to be talking about ghosts and aliens and fairy tales and all sorts of crazy shit. Let's go.
We can have this conversation. Are UFOs real or not? They're fucking real.
What?
It's so fascinating that you're this lightning rod for this shit, just by virtue of the fact that you're one of the most prominent UFO documentary guys, that they're coming to you and wanting to discuss these things with you.
But people I know in these positions that have access to this information, whether we believe them or not, like they're good people. I think they want this information to be public. They think it's bigger than themselves. But we're seeing finally representative government representing the public's interest to know about this. Now, is there anything under the hood? Let's find out.
Do you think that them releasing information and having these discussions is their way of preparing us for the inevitable? That maybe this is the best way to do it?
No, it's some guy and he's in a boardroom and he's got to make a committee because that's his job, is to make committees. It's literally his role in this government, is to make committees. And there's public interest because our number one guy loves aliens.
You could have a live alien on this podcast, and people would say it could be an actual live
We
alien.
already have. Elon's been on 3 times.
That's a good point. I did not believe his last thing about not being interested in UFOs, by the way.
Well, I feel like that might have been motivated at least slightly by the fact that he smoked weed on my show and got in trouble with NASA.
Oh,
Holla.
don't do that, huh?
With your fascination of the UFO experience and then you having psychedelic experiences, did you feel like there's any sort of connection between psychedelic experiences and UFO experiences? Like, did you think that those realms that you access through psychedelics in any way are related to extraterrestrial intelligence?
I love the theory. I have no idea. I know that there's something there that is of great benefit to my consciousness from time to time. But I don't know if I'm tapping into, like, I never felt that I'm tapping into, like, an other intelligence rather than our collective intelligence.
Yeah, that's something I can believe even more, is that what we're tapping into is our collective intelligence. That is the extra dimension that I think could be within mushrooms. Because if you think about it, the mushroom itself doesn't have to be anything special, right? It's just a way to deliver a chemical. And then it's how that chemical impacts our minds that's interesting. And if it allowed us to gain access to deeper memories, things that are ancestral and in our very ancient past, or even things in our own lives that we've forgotten, basically internalized knowledge that somehow in us and inaccessible can be made available with the addition of this compound. And whether that's, like a collective subconscious or just our own, you don't remember 99.9% of your life, but a lot of that experience is in your brain, I think, anyway.
So I've never had, like, a close encounter. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. What have you had?
so we're by where I live, and we're just hanging out, and we're going on a walk, and it's just as the sun is kind of setting, just, talking shit. And he makes some fucking joke, and he's like, oh, coming out to see the UFO expert, I figured I'd see a UFO. I really wish we could see one. I'm like, oh, you're funny, you should be a comedian, asshole. It's like, we're just fucking with him. He's fucking with me. Not 45 seconds after he says that, I go, turn the fuck around. I thought it would be super brief. I thought it would be brief. This big fucking glowing thing that comes in at 45 degrees and just goes like over this valley, right? And I just thought it'd be a shooting star or something. Your mind just says, oh, this is normal, this is normal.
Right.
And we're both standing there looking at it. I said out loud, I am not even going to try and film this.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It was so astonishing looking. It's so different than, it wasn't close encounter, it wasn't close, but it was so different than what I was used to seeing that I was kind of stunned. And so was he. And we thought maybe it'd be really brief.
Dude, where is your bullshit meter?
Right. Okay, so it had these big lights in the front. It was so weird looking. It had these big lights in the front, but the whole body of it would glow and pulse. It does this movement where once it levels out, it goes like 4 times. Impossible speed in these jumps. And every time it did it, it would flare up, like almost like, what I was impressed by was the tremendous power. The power that it took to make these movements. 4 of them, no sonic booms. That shit was way too fast. It looked like it was sliding.
Yeah, by this aircraft that only you saw.
It was fucking weird, dude. And then Dave, right, so that's the angle it came in towards our angle of view. And it's traveling where the 3 lights are, but that's not what glowed. The body of it glowed.
That's all the aliens. It's some smudge on a screen. Aliens aren't smudges. Ghosts are smudges.
Then it went over to a hill, sat there, and then just descended down.
Why didn't you pull your phone out when you saw it?
Dude, it makes me more angry than it makes you.
It doesn't make me angry.
It makes me really angry.
It's almost like all these people that see UFOs are special and chosen somehow, and only they have this unique story that makes them select.
Captivated me. It did. It was beautiful in how weird and exotic it was. And look, here's the joke. I'm the guy, hunting UFOs, talk to all these people every day that have encounters that I believe, and I never saw shit. I would always be the guy going in to get the night vision goggles to look at the sky, and everybody starts screaming, oh my God, did you just see that? I was the guy always with his back turned.
Yeah.
Now it's like me bringing sand to the beach, man. The UFO guy sees the UFO. Who's gonna believe me? I'm the least believable.
That's the problem with the whole UFO experience, is that no one believes anyone unless they've had an experience themselves.
Right.
Yeah, I don't believe any of these people. And I've had an experience.
You have an experience yourself, there's probably this pause where you don't really want to talk about it because you don't want everybody to think you're a loon.
I'll tell you my experience. So when I was a kid, I was maybe 14, 15, something like that, living at my parents' house in Michigan. I was going outside with my little brother, and at the time we would like to look at the stars, and we'd look for satellites, and also at the time there weren't a lot of satellites, so it was kind of like rare when you could actually spot a satellite. So we'd spend a lot of time looking at the sky, and one time he noticed the star was kind of like blinking in place, and he got my attention, and he pointed out that star. And what we both observed and could recollect for years afterwards was the gradual brightening of this star. I mean, imagine a star getting 4 times brighter and then 6 times brighter, and then 10 times brighter than the original pulse, and then it's extinguished.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean,
I've not seen anything. I don't think. I mean, maybe I saw something when I was a kid, but I'm probably exaggerating.
I really believe you got to just look up. I really believe that. I think that if,
So you think there's more than enough of them?
yeah, it is what we think it is. If there is a presence, let's just call it non-human intelligence, and it is engaging humanity and has been for a long fucking time, since the beginning of recorded human history, if not before, if any of this is true, it seems reasonable that in some way they want to be seen on a personal level, if any of this is true.
Yeah, so it can never be verified. It's all just people to people, and Men in Black come and flash you so you forget.
I was told a long time ago by an admiral that I trust, like family, that this is important to look into, that there's meat on the bone, and that every branch of our military studies this current day, and this was 10 years ago having this conversation. I was asking, should I waste my time on this Lazar guy?
This guy really believes in UFOs and aliens, and he wants you to believe in them too. And he has these experiences that nobody can verify, but he does have a smudge on a screen that he wants to show you as proof. And I'm sure he's got a couple of ghost stories as well. But no disrespect. I don't mean to disrespect anyone. Like, obviously he cares about it and he's into it. I cannot accept that Men in Black is real. But if you guys want to go ahead and believe in aliens walking around the earth and just hiding, but sometimes they make mistake and kind of tease the military, you can believe that. Either way, I'm going to have fun shitting on this topic because it's so crazy to me that so many people believe in it. But I like it. I like it. You know, like we need more. We need to live in a world of Easter bunnies and ghosts and aliens. It's a more interesting Bigfooty type of world. So if anyone actually sees this, seems unlikely, but thanks for hanging out.